All this thing about, they will tell him that he should sign, he should not, he should stop signing things. So I'm talking to the governor now. If the signing of things in the middle of the night is enough, consult with your people, consult with Rivers people. We're behind you. We're behind you. It is us you're governing. You're not governing Abuja. It's Rivers State you're governing. So when you want to do things now, talk to us. Speak with us. Know what we want. Definitely the fact that the Supreme Court gave a judgment. Number one, they gave judgment in things that had nothing to do with them. Number one, they gave judgment which recognized and accepted that a people who had defected so blatantly, so openly, by first of all reading a letter that about 27 members had signed, informing the Speaker, Amaewhule, that they want to defect. That letter was read. Now, having read that letter, they proceeded to accept unanimously their own plan to defect. After defection, the president referred to them, according to people who were in the meeting and have said so on television, that he referred to them as his children. The president referred to the 27 House members of State Assembly that they are his children, meaning that they have defected to the APC. Now, not only that, we saw them in the hallowed chambers of Rivers State waving the flag of the APC. Not only that, we also saw them live where the disputed chairman of APC at that time, Emeka Beke, was in court with the APC that removed him, one section removed him and brought Tony Okocha. Now, he mounted the podium on a live program in Rivers State Polo, in Port Harcourt Polo Club, where high-ranking members, I believe including the publicity secretary of APC, flew into Port Harcourt to receive them. It's in the internet as APC members. Moving forward, they had already gone to court in Abuja and sworn an affidavit that they had defected to the APC. After you swear an affidavit and you now say that what you swore on the affidavit is no longer true, that is a crime of perjury. So they can be taken to court for perjury. So the issue of the some Rivers indigents having gone to court to ask the court to determine, based on precedents that had been set in other cases where lawmakers of a state defect to another party from the party that brought them into the assembly. That case is still pending in Rivers State High Court. It's not been determined. So how and why, excuse me, must they be recognized by the Supreme Court, who had no business discussing their matter? And yet, Siminalayi Fubara, after the judgment, had accepted that if that is what the Supreme Court has said, that he will accept it. Some of us say that we don't accept it, but because our governor that we support has said he will obey it, we have no choice but to agree for the sake of peace in Rivers State. So it is not true to say that Rivers State is not peaceful under Siminalayi Fubara. It is untrue to make that claim. against him. The 2 pieces of papers that was given to him to sign, all in the process of making peace, he signed them. And yet, it was not enough. Anytime he takes a step towards agreeing with them, they take a step or 2 back by disagreeing with him. On this very matter of obeying the court order, he had proceeded to tell the SSG of Rivers State, Danagogo, to write to the members, the Amaewhule gang, that they want to have a meeting, the governor wants to have a meeting with them to discuss these issues that they are talking about, i.e. the money that has not been paid to them, which in true legal terms, if they had crossed over, they are not entitled to. And they have not represented their constituents for the past, since they defected. What work has they done, apart from fighting Fubara? What work have they done for the people that they are representing, their constituents? They have not done anything for their constituents. Now, while Fubara did that, they said Fubara did not have to tell the SSG to write to them. Therefore, they are not honoring the letter. The governor went a step further and said, okay, if that is the case, I will personally write to you. I'm sorry I didn't personally write to you. That was the meaning of his actions. So he personally wrote to them, signed the letter. They refused to accept the letter. He took the letter personally by himself to go to them. They said he should have informed them. He said, okay, fine. I'm sorry, I didn't inform you. He now wrote a second letter to them, saying to them that, look, I want to come and sit down and discuss with you. Give me a time to come and sit down and discuss with you. They now issued a statement to say that they are going on holidays, stalling the process for Fubara to be able to present the budget to them. And that was on a Friday. By Monday, they have come back from holiday that they said was almost indefinite. They have come back with a letter of their own that they are going to impeach Governor Fubara. In the meantime, Governor Fubara was caught between the Amaewhule-led House of Assembly, who are supporters of the former governor, the Federal Capital Minister, and the PANDEF move to bring peace, to broker peace between Fubara and Wike. The governor, the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Obongata, was the person that read the documents that we presented to the PANDEF presented to the president. And the first thing in that document was the crisis, the issue of Rivers State. That's how serious Niger Delta people take the issue of what is happening in Rivers State. Then we raised the issue of Bakassi, we raised the issue of Coastal Road, we raised the issue of ports, we raised the issue of non-development of the Niger Delta, the usual things we have been ever wanting and asking from the federal government. But the president ignored every single thing on that paper. The only thing he addressed was the issue of Governor Fubara. And he laid blame of this crisis on Governor Fubara. Governor Fubara did not start this crisis. He was not the one that said he was going to impeach himself. It was the Amaewhule-led assembly members who qualified themselves as supporters of the Federal Capital Territory. If you're a supporter of the Federal Capital Territory, which is a territory that is outside of Rivers State, then your support should be where the the governor is, you cannot be loyal to the minister of Federal Capital Territory, which is a federal appointment, and also want to stay back here and claim that you're protecting the interests of the former governor. What interest does the former governor have in the governance of Rivers State and the people of Rivers State? Whatever he has to offer will come as advisory, and it does not have to be accepted either. There was a time Obasanjo told some of his appointees that he appointed as advisors in certain areas. He said, yes, you're my advisors, but I don't have to take your advice. So advice is what is just that. It is an advice. The person does not have to take it. But the insistence of the former governor of Rivers State that somehow he has a right to be involved in the governance of Rivers State, he has no such right. Or the former governor of Rivers State, Dele, does not have such right. He can only advise. President Goodluck Jonathan does not have such right at federal government level. He can only advise. And I agree with Goodluck Jonathan when he said that you cannot wake up a man who is pretending to be asleep. That is a very deep, wise saying. If a man is pretending to be asleep, you're wasting your time saying that you're trying to wake him up. Because he's not asleep. He's only pretending to be asleep. So what is happening in Rivers State? From the federal level, from the National Assembly level, to the House of Representatives, the president, everybody, people who are advising the president, are all pretending to be sleeping when it comes to this issue of Rivers State. And when we try to explain from our position of being victims of the political system in Nigeria, we are told that anyhow we present it, that we're threatening the federal corporation. We are not threatening, we are explaining what we're going through. When we say that we produce the wealth of this nation, and therefore we should benefit more than 13%. There is a company, I've forgotten the company right now, but there is a company that registered at the CAC in December and bidded for the oil blocks that were going and qualified. A company that have no experience in oil. They got three, they were given 3, and they were also given offshore. They are registered, they registered in December. You're starting, we are saying that if it is not this coastal road, today in Nigeria, the coastal road is not a priority. But you have allocated money and dispensed money for it. But you're starting it in Lagos. So when will it get to Niger Delta? And when will it end in the ocean? Why don't you start it at 2 ends and start it at 2 middles? So that everybody is benefiting. But you started it in Lagos. Look at the crisis that you did to start this coastal road. You completely destroyed people's businesses in Lagos. And now, the coastal road, in my opinion, will go the way of the East-West Road. That is just the truth. So, looking at what is happening in the judiciary of Nigeria is very frightening. As people of Nigeria, when we can no longer believe in the judiciary, and when the judiciary itself becomes our major problem, we are in trouble. Jonathan said categorically, and he's right, no right-thinking man or corporation or government will come and invest in another government or another country where the judiciary is openly, seemingly, we can see very clearly that you can buy judgment in in Nigeria. Nobody is going to come and invest here. Jonathan is the right person to know, because Jonathan today is moving at the international level, monetary and every other way, UN and every other way, of major decision-making processes in the world. Jonathan is recognized there as a protector of and practicer of true and real democracy. So what is happening in Rivers State is undemocratic. The process that has now brought the sole administrator into Rivers State is undemocratic. Every Falana has said it, the NBA president has said it, that under the cover of Section 305, that the president can call for a state of emergency, because even Jonathan called for a state of emergency. But that was even, the situation was even worse, because terrorists were inside Nigeria and displacing Nigerians in their own country.
Hoisting flags.
Yes, hoisting flags in an independent country. So that was even more of a necessity than this one in Rivers State. The president said that pipeline was blown up and that Fubara did not do anything. Pipeline was not blown up, so how can Fubara do something? It's clear that pipeline was not. Even the owners of that trunk has said nothing happened. Let them show us where pipeline was blown up and there was fire. Let them show us. And the destruction that it caused moving forward. So the National Assembly that is supposed to protect the interest of the people of Nigeria have now become the problem of the people of Nigeria. Ireti Kinkigbe has said that how they came about what they did in the National Assembly is illegal. Tambowa has said it's illegal. So the North has made their own statement. Afenifere has made their own statement. So if everybody is saying you are wrong, you should look at yourself. You may be you truly may be wrong. If everybody is saying that that you're wrong, the president can correct this error. This is an error. He has been advised wrongly to do this to the people of Rivers State. We do not deserve the look. The president says that he won election in Rivers State. INEC says he won election based on the fact that people of Rivers State voted for him. If that is true, where is our crime? What crime have Rivers State committed? You say it's doctrine of necessity. What necessity? The governor is doing exactly what you are requesting for him to do. And the people of Rivers State are supporting him. Nobody is telling the governor in Rivers State today not to obey court order, court ruling. Nobody. And we are supporting him. We may not agree in the way that the Supreme Court gave that judgment, bringing in issues that they had no business to be. It's not their business. Nobody brought it to them. The case of Amaewhule them are in Rivers State High Court. A judgment has not been passed. So, but Fubara is saying, I want peace. And we are also saying, Rivers people are encouraging Fubara.
Okay.
There are two things that is of concern to Rivers State, the majority of the people of Rivers State, and Niger Delta people. Now, it is the banks are the people, the banks that Rivers State bank with are the people that will confirm or deny this, unless if the banks will also now toe the line of not telling the truth. It is a known fact, as of today, that the government of Rivers State, under the governor Siminalayi Fubara, has savings in the banks of not tens, but hundreds of billions of naira. Is there before the sole administrator came and the governor left the government house for him. From that date till whenever, we would want to know how much of that money the sole administrator used, if at all he used, because he is not legally permitted, because his appointment is is an illegality, according to people like Falana and according to the president of NBA. We cannot just disregard what they are saying because they are the law. They read the law. Now, the Supreme Court said that Rivers State money should not be paid to Rivers State government. From the moment that judgment was given, Rivers State government has not received any money. Now, if that be the case, and it was a Supreme Court utterance, when did the president go to court to overturn that utterance, that judgment by the Supreme Court, that he is now on his own releasing the money to the sole administrator? And that is why we, the people of Rivers State, are convinced and are now saying we want our money to be protected. Since this democratic process, the money of Rivers State, after the government was sworn in, every time election is being held, Rivers State people's money has been in federal government election and has propped up PDP political party. Rivers State is not the only party, is not the only state government that is in PDP. Why should we bear the monetary burden of a political party one? And why should our money that is supposed to develop Rivers State and Rivers people be put into politics at federal level? That is why we believe that what is happening is not just about the capture of Rivers State, which will lead to the capture of Niger Delta, the oil-producing states of Niger Delta. It is about our resources and it is about our finances. And we're saying enough is enough. People cannot just stroll into Rivers State, take money from NDDC, take money from Amnesty, take money from Ministry of Niger Delta, and now take money to continuously be sucking Rivers State dry. So the people of Niger Delta and the people of Rivers State must peel their eyes open. It is about the state capture of the region of Niger Delta and about the federal government capturing the money, as small as it is, 13% of Rivers State and eventually the Niger Delta region. And so we should protect what is already legally our own. It is constitutionally that 13% is our own. Constitutionally, the NDDC belongs to us. Constitutionally, the Niger Delta Ministry, it was set up by law. And so the president cannot, after he has set up all the development agency of the regions, now come and hold back signing the one that affects the Niger Delta, the South-South development. And we now seem to be begging that they should keep the NDDC. No, we're not begging. We shouldn't beg. It's already our own. So you cannot diminish the NDDC, the Amnesty, and the NDDC without law. You can't, because it was created by law. So we're saying to the president that nobody is God. Everybody can make mistake. Everybody can be advised wrongly. And you can genuinely based on, and that's why I always say that you take decisions based on information that you receive. If you receive wrong information, if you receive lies as information, you will make your decisions based on lies and they will become wrong decisions. So if the president, through no fault of his own, has been advised wrongly, we should not have to pay such a heavy price. He can revisit the suspension even today. He can revisit the suspension because people are telling, even Wole Soyinka has told him and Wole Soyinka is one of his major supporters, have told him that this is wrong. So the president should be a humble president. Humility kills nobody. He should be a humble president and say, you people, you advised me wrongly. See the crisis you have created now. Oh yeah, because this is a wrong advice. I've looked at it. I will look at it. I've looked at it. And I lift the suspension. Let's allow the governor of Rivers State to go back and continue what he has already said and has already put in process. We have a date for election. I'm also hearing that the sole administrator believes that he can appoint sole administrators in local government. He cannot, though. He cannot appoint. Nobody sent him here. As a matter of fact, we do not. The majority of Rivers people are saying that they do not accept his appointment. But because we live and obey the rule of law, we are doing it through the system of due process, which is by what I'm doing now, by expressing what I know is the feeling of my people, and what I definitely know without a shadow of doubt is my own position in this thing, which is to say that what has happened, the suspension of the governor and his deputy, who from the beginning, the deputy governor's name has never been mentioned once in all of these processes in the past almost 2 years. At what point now is she part of the, what did she do to be part of the suspension? And that's why we're suspecting. Because I was told before this time that the governor of Rivers State remains the governor of Rivers State. I'm now convinced that the person who said that to me knew that they were going to do this suspension. Otherwise, why tell me out of the blue that the governor of Rivers State remains the governor of Rivers State? Therefore, we're saying that the governor of Rivers State, to us, we elected him, is the governor of Rivers State. And that this suspension should be reviewed. And that the sole administrator is not even recognized by law. When you look at how the House, the Senate and the House confirmed him, he was already in Port Harcourt and went back to take the, to get the, to be administered the oath. He had already come to Rivers State and then went back to Abuja. So the point we're trying to make here, and we're telling everybody to listen to us at this time, is that we are peaceful in Rivers State. We want to be peaceful. There was no crisis in this state. When Siminalayi Fubara was suspended, there was no crisis. The Attorney General has defamed the governor by saying authoritatively that the governor was teleguiding without any proof, that the governor was teleguiding the blow-up of pipeline. If people in their anger threaten to blow up pipeline, you cannot say that because the governor did not come out to come. How many times has Boko Haram come out and ISIS? How many times have they come out to come and say that the governors of the state where Boko Haram is hoisting flags and all those things, that they didn't come out to come and deny Boko Haram? How many governors in the north have denied Boko Haram? We were told when Jonathan was fighting, even by the current president, they took that stand in APC that a fight against Boko Haram is a fight against North and Muslims. And while we're trying to pull ourselves away from religion and ethnicity as issues in Nigeria, there are people that are still intent on fermenting everything that goes wrong in Nigeria. They want to make it look as if it's an ethnicity thing. I want to state here again, and I've said it severally, what is happening in Rivers State has nothing to do with ethnicity. the major supporters, apart from, if you like, apart from the Ijaw local government areas, are Ikwere people and Ogoni people, are fully in support. We're sitting in Obiakpo. One of the major supporters from 2003 in October till today is the young man from Obiakpo that ended up becoming the local government chairman that has now been made to step down again by this so-called court system. And we have been given a date for election. So in August, we are in March, April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. The sole administrator should forget about appointing people already. The governor is the sole administrator here to undo the good that Fubara has done. The governor of Rivers State has already told the local government chairman to step down and to hand over to the head of those local governments who are civil servants. And they've handed over to them. Is the sole administrator telling me that he's coming out of retirement from the Navy to come and impose military law on a state that have no problem? We have no problem in Rivers State. The problem is coming from Abuja. Abuja should call themselves to order. What we are asking for is development. That's what we're asking for. And support of good governance and democracy. The dividends of democracy. Those are the things we're asking for.
The president said he took preemptive action to save Rivers State from anarchy and protect oil facilities. Do you agree with it?
What anarchy now? Who is causing the anarchy? Who is causing the anarchy? Where there is anarchy is in the, is what bandits and Boko Haram and those people are doing. That's where anarchy is. Where is anarchy in this Rivers State? I do not agree with him. There is no anarchy in Rivers State. What anarchy? It's offensive to the people of Rivers State to look at us today with a governor that is so humble to say that he is preventing anarchy. Which anarchy? Where is the anarchy coming from? When you have the anarchy that I see is the anarchy of a minister coming to his state, which is entitled to come to, at a weekend to attend birthday parties, Thanksgiving, marriages, or whatever he chooses to attend. And then you're coming in as if you're the president of the country. You have outriders. You're coming into a state that has a government where it is the governor that has a right to ride outriders. You can, if you want, you can go and compete with President TINUBU in Abuja as the governor of Abuja, because that's what you are. Then when you come into Rivers State and you behave as if you have Amechi tried to use federal might here. Was he allowed to succeed? But look at what is happening. The president is allowing the president is allowing the FCT minister to behave in Rivers State as if he is the governor. There is no time that the former governor, whom I supported, and is known that I supported him, allowing him to come into Rivers State, and anytime he comes in, he makes one statement or the other that is undesirable. So there is no anarchy. Mr. President, please, I live in Rivers State. I'm a Rivers daughter. There is no anarchy in Rivers State. If you say there is anarchy, why didn't you say, recently Lagos had an issue where they impeached their speaker. And then all of a sudden, After they impeached him, they appointed another speaker. But the impeached speaker is back in office. And the one that the members brought is now someone, I don't think he's any longer a lawmaker. I think he has resigned or something like that. Now, that is anarchy now. Who is he fighting? It's Rivers people. And it's not fair. It's most unfair. Even he himself has agreed and acknowledged, when it comes to somebody like me, that I supported him. And that support was freely given. It was freely given. Even when he became the FCT minister, and Gumi, Dr. Gumi of the North, raised an objection, the late Chief E.K. Clark, whom the FCT minister had chosen to disrespect, even if you don't like his positions, you don't have to disrespect him. He can be your grandfather. You don't have to disrespect him. Now, even at that level, I supported him. Even when Gumi opposed it, I came out and made a statement that Nyesom Wike can and does have a right to be appointed by the president to oversee the Federal Capital Territory. I went as far as saying that he has a right because it is even his money that built the FCT. So how else would people like me have shown support? He himself has said with his own that Ann-Kio Briggs is somebody that she will support you if you are doing what is right. And if you're doing what is wrong, she will also tell you. I cannot be afraid at my age now, at 70-something. I cannot be afraid to tell even the president that he's wrong, because the president was born in 52. I am born in 52. So I cannot be afraid to tell the president the truth. If other people are afraid to tell him the truth because he has appointed them, I can understand that. But he has not appointed me. I'm speaking on behalf of my people, my region, and myself, and my family. Why not? Because nobody else is doing it for me. You know, so please, there is no anarchy anywhere in Rivers State. Fubara is a gentleman. He is a very humble man. There is nothing the president has told Governor Fubara that he has not done. Even those 2 pieces of papers that he signed, we were against it. It's not in our interest. But he still went ahead and signed it. Because why? He said because the president asked him to. Even though it was unconstitutional, the president does not have any constitutional right to go to a state and dictate to a state governor when both of them were elected. He has no right to go to a state and tell the state governor how he should govern his state. None. And yet the president has done it in Rivers State, not once, but twice, by making Siminalayi Fubara, and people say, did he have to sign? Of course he had to sign it. He was outnumbered. And people were shouting that if we go by what the people who were there, people like Chief David Briggs, had come out to say what transpired there. Sir Peter Odili was there. People have said what happened there. And yet, he has obeyed the president in every way. The president said everybody should go and withdraw their cases. The governor told here to withdraw his case and resign as a Speaker of the House. And he made him a Chief of Staff. And he did that. And those actions have become the albatross now around the neck of the governor. The people are now saying that he was calling him names for withdrawing it. But it was the president that told him to withdraw. He told the others to withdraw. They didn't withdraw their case. They didn't. So who is disobeying the president? And who is behaving in a way that will bring anarchy to the state? The state belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to one person. It's all of us the state belong to. And one person cannot lay claim to the state and say structure, my structure, my structure. What structure? What is structure?
Okay. What is your message to President TINUBU, the sole administrator, and the major political actors in Rivers State?
President TINUBU should listen to the people of Rivers State. The people of Rivers State are talking. They are coming out and saying they don't want the sole administrator. They want their governor back. He should bring our governor back. He should, as soon as possible, before the end of the month, he should review what he has done on the 19th of March. By the end of March, he should look at it and ask himself whether what he did was right for the peace and tranquility of not just Rivers State, the Niger Delta region, and the whole of Nigeria. Because other governors should be afraid. It doesn't matter whether they're in the north or they're in the southwest. That if that can happen here in Rivers State, where the governor is humble, it can happen to anybody. That's one. Two, when I hear major players, Fubara is not a major player. They came and looked for his problem. They came and stepped on his toes. He didn't get up to impeach himself. It was the state assembly members that decided to impeach Fubara. We're still asking them, what has he done? Now, they should look at themselves as people that started off as PDP members who were voted for by their constituents. They should ask themselves, the decision to, on the spur of the moment, decide that they will abandon their political party and their constituents, their communities where they come from, and the communities that they represent. That was it fair on the constituents and even on themselves to just get up and walk away from the responsibility that was given to them and walk to another party? They should retrace themselves. If they say they are sorry, let them say they are sorry. Are they too big? Which one of them there is too big to say sorry to Rivers people? Which one of them? Are we the ones that should say sorry to them? They have erred the people of Rivers State. They should apologize to the people of Rivers State. We want peace. If they say they made mistake, let them go back and continue to represent the people for the sake of peace. Not because they are not at fault. They are at fault. But if we don't have to behave like every other state government, if Rivers people decide to forgive their sons and daughters, no outsider can come and tell us that we have no right to forgive them. We have a right to forgive them. So if they come and apologize, but they cannot force us to forgive them, whether we like it or not. They resigned. They crossed. There is proof. They swore an affidavit. If we really want to push it, they have committed a crime. But we will forgive them. They should leave Fubara alone. They should work with Fubara. Commissioners got up en masse and resigned. The very commissioners that were appointed, we are told, by the former governor himself. And the president said to this same humble Fubara that they are abusing up and down. There is no name, they have not called him. I don't want to repeat it to make it as if the things they say is true, is untrue. The names they are calling him, it is their name that they are calling him. You know, the commissioners resigned en masse. And the president said, this is ridiculous. I mean, like, you resigned from a company willingly. Nobody, the governor, your CEO did not come to say to you, you're not doing your job well. You just got up one morning and say, you're no longer working. You packed your things and you left the company. Then, 2 weeks later, somebody bigger, from a bigger branch, the headquarters, now calls you the person who is a victim of their collective irresponsible decision, now calls you and say, take them back. Okay, now, he took them back. They resigned again. These people resigned twice. Now we're hearing that they should be taken back again. Is it, I mean, what do they think that Rivers people are? And that even the governor of Fubara is? Is it because he's quiet? Is it because he's humble? There is a point where humility becomes an injustice. Humility becomes an injustice. And that's where Rivers people are today. We don't want trouble. We have seen trouble. Oh.
To the sole administrator, the advice to the sole administrator.
My advice to the sole administrator, my brother, you're from Akwa Ibom. You're from Niger Delta. You cannot, because of this appointment, think or behave as if the problem of other Niger Delta people is not your problem. It's your problem. Oh. It's your problem. See Rivers people as your kith and kin, and see Rivers State as your own state, the way you would do whatever you will do in Akwa Ibom that is right, not wrong, that is right, is what you should be attempting to do in Rivers State, calling traditional rulers and telling them that they should not encourage cultism in their environment. It's a disrespect to traditional rulers. And the traditional rulers who are representing us as custodians of our traditions in our respective local governments and kingdoms and communities have not done well. They have not done well. Saying to the sole administrator, we are 100% behind you. It's not the right language. Are you saying that there are people that dislike the sole administrator? It's the process that brought him. There is no provision for a sole administrator in a state where a government is in place. The process that brought him is faulty. Like late Yaradua said, he accepts that the process that brought him is faulty. Today, people are still talking of Yaradua as a good man, even though he has died. And when he accepted that the process that brought him is faulty, he bought the hearts of Nigerians. He bought my heart. When he accepted that the process that brought him is faulty, when we have made a mistake, we should be humble and graceful enough to accept that, I made a mistake. Oh yeah, let's get back to where we were before. Let everybody, FCT minister, do your job in FCT, leave Rivers State alone. Oh yeah, state assembly members, go and make laws that are in favor of your people. And you two Rivers people, work together with your governor so that the things you're looking for, the things you're asking for are there. The governor has paid pensioners. He's not owing anybody. The governor has increased people's salary. The governor is doing projects that the people need. Even this head of traditional rulers, and recently here in Obiakpo, he has built palaces that are dilapidated, that the past government did not do. The past government did not do anything for other people, but it's okay. That is his choice. Allow Fubara to do for people that this past government have not done for. What is the problem there? And I also will advise him to speak with the president and let the president know, because the sole administrator cannot say that he does not know that Rivers people are unhappy. Even if the traditional rulers tell him that they are 101% behind it, what does he really expect them to tell him? They are traditional rulers, and the government gives them money every month for their upkeep and gives them what they need. So what does he expect the traditional rulers to tell him? They have told him what they have to tell him that they are 100% behind him. But to now look at the traditional rulers and say to them that they should not allow cultism in their domain, that means he has already assumed that they are allowing cultism in their domain. So please, the sole administrator should take into account that he is dealing with a state whose nerves are frayed. Our nerves are frayed. We're not happy. We're not happy. The majority of Rivers people are not happy people. We want our governor and our deputy governor back. We like the work they are doing. We're working with them. And we can see what they are doing for us. Rivers State is not only about flyover in Port Harcourt. Flyover is not only, I mean, is there flyover in Ogoni? Is there flyover in Ekpeye? Is there flyover in Egi? Is there flyover in Abonima? Flyover is only in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt is the capital of Rivers State. So there should be flyover to decongest the traffic. But the governance of Rivers State is also not just about flyover now. There are hospitals. It's about hospital. It's about education. It's about civil service. That's the building that is in that is called civil service, where the civil servants are. It should be. It is something that the SSP puts there.
Secretariat. Yes,
the secretariat. But today there is no light. It should be brought down and rebuilt. And we're not asking the sole administrator to do it. We are asking Siminalayi Fubara to do it. He still has 2 years. And he is also going to run. All this thing about, they will tell him that he should sign, he should not run. He should stop signing things. So I'm talking to the governor now. If the signing of things in the middle of the night is enough, consult with your people, consult with Rivers people. We're behind you. We're behind you. It is us you're governing. You're not governing Abuja. It's Rivers State you're governing. So when you want to do things now, talk to us. Speak with us. Know what we want.